What should have been a simple interview about charity work quickly spiraled into one of the most explosive confrontations in daytime TV history. A routine appearance on TheView turned into a complete disaster, ending with Charlize Theron storming off the set and Joy Behar scrambling to manage the chaos she unleashed. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe and leave a comment below. You're going to want to share your thoughts on what happens next. It was meant to be a straightforward promotional segment. Charlize was scheduled for a 10-minute slot to discuss her latest film and her humanitarian work in Africa. Producers had briefed Joy Behar carefully: keep the conversation light, positive, and focused on Charlize's charitable foundation and upcoming movie. But Joy had other ideas. The tension began the moment Charlize stepped onto the set. While the other hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Sarah, and Sunny, welcomed her with warm smiles, Joy's expression remained cold, calculating. She barely acknowledged Charlize, flipping through her notes with a predatory intensity. "Welcome back to TheView, everyone," Whoopi announced as the show returned from commercial break. "We're joined by Academy Award winner Charlize Theron here to talk about her incredible work with children in Africa and her exciting new thriller hitting theaters this weekend." Charlize, radiant in a tailored navy blazer, smiled warmly at the camera. "Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I'm always happy to be here." "So tell us about the foundation," Sarah began kindly. "You've been working with children in South Africa for more than 15 years now." "That's right," Charlize replied, her eyes lighting up. "We focus on education and access to healthcare in underserved communities. It's incredibly rewarding work. So far, we've built 12 schools and 3 medical clinics." Suddenly, Joy leaned forward, cutting in. "That's interesting, Charlize. But I have to ask, given all the problems here in America, isn't it a bit hypocritical to send money overseas when we have homeless children in our own backyard?" The studio went silent. Sunny and Sarah exchanged uneasy glances while Whoopi raised her eyebrows in surprise. Charlize's smile faltered for a moment, but she remained composed. "Well, Joy," Charlize said calmly, "I believe compassion knows no borders. I was born in South Africa, so this work is deeply personal to me. That said, I also support several American charities, including organizations that help homeless youth right here in New York." Joy wasn't satisfied. Her tone turned condescending. "But doesn't it seem convenient that Hollywood celebrities always want to play savior in exotic locations where they can get great photo opportunities instead of facing the harsh realities of American poverty?" Charlize's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "I'm sorry, Joy, but I don't appreciate the suggestion that my humanitarian work is some kind of publicity stunt. I've supported these communities long before I ever spoke about it publicly." "Oh, really?" Joy scoffed. "Is that why photographers are present at every one of your charity visits?" Whoopi tried to intervene. "Joy, maybe we should." "It's fine," Charlize said firmly, her voice steady but sharper. "I want to address this. You seem to have a very cynical view of charity. The photographers you're referring to help raise awareness and funding. Every dollar raised through that exposure goes directly to helping children who desperately need it." Joy leaned back, smirking. "Right. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with maintaining your image as America's sweetheart while you make millions playing tough action heroes." The other hosts shifted uncomfortably. Sarah attempted to change the subject. "Charlize, your new movie looks." Joy interrupted again. "I want to talk about those action roles. Isn't it ironic that someone who claims to care about peace and children spends so much time on screen killing people and blowing things up?" Charlize took a deep breath, clearly trying to stay professional. "Joy, I'm an actress. I portray fictional characters. That's entirely separate from my humanitarian work. I don't understand why you're trying to manufacture a contradiction that doesn't exist." "I'm just pointing out hypocrisy," Joy replied, feigning innocence. "You can't have it both ways, sweetie. You can't be Mother Teresa by day and Furiosa by night." The word sweetie cracked Charlize's composure. Her eyes flashed, though her voice stayed controlled. "First of all, don't call me sweetie. Second, you're deliberately misrepresenting what I do and why I do it." Joy's smirk widened. "Oh, I'm sorry if I touched a sensitive spot. I just think our viewers deserve to know when celebrities are being authentic and when they're just playing another role." "Are you questioning my authenticity?" Charlize asked quietly. I'm questioning whether your charity work comes from genuine concern or just very expensive PR, Joy shot back. Whoopi jumped in urgently. Okay, ladies, let's take a step back. No, Whoopi, Charlize said firmly, eyes locked on Joy. I need to finish. Joy, you want to question my authenticity? Fine. Let me tell you what's authentic. The little girl in Johannesburg who can read because of the school we built. The mother who didn't lose her son to a preventable disease because of the clinic we funded. The community that has clean water for the first time in generations because of the wells we dug. Joy tried to interrupt, but Charlize raised her hand. I'm not finished. You want to know what else is authentic? I have never used a single child or family for a photo opportunity without their consent or without ensuring they benefit directly. Every dollar of publicity goes back into the programs. I don't take a salary. I don't take expenses. I don't take credit that belongs to the local teams doing the real work. Well, that's very noble of you, Joyce said sarcastically. Noble? There's nothing noble about it. Charlize snapped. These aren't strangers. This is my home. These are my people. And you're sitting here suggesting that caring about my own community is some kind of performance. The emotion finally hit the other hosts. Sarah looked close to tears. Sunny stared at Joy in disbelief. Whoopi seemed ready to vanish, but Joy wasn't done. You're a multimillionaire living in Malibu. You haven't been one of those people for decades. You play humanitarian, then go home to your mansion while they stay poor, Joy said, mocking Charlize. The studio fell into stunned silence. Everyone knew a line had been crossed. Charlize sat perfectly still, her jaw clenched. When she finally spoke, it was barely above a whisper, but her fury was palpable. How dare you? She said, how dare you? Joy tried to backtrack. Charlize, I didn't mean no. You meant exactly what you said. Charlize cut her off, standing so abruptly her chair rolled back. You just didn't expect to be called out. You want to talk about what I go home to? Let me tell you, I go home to sleepless nights worrying about programs that keep children alive. I go home to phone calls at 3 a.m. because there's a crisis. I go home to photos of children I've watched grow up, some who didn't make it to their 10th birthday despite everything we tried. You think my wealth disqualifies me from caring about poverty? You think my success means I can't remember where I came from? I've seen more real poverty, real suffering, and real hope than you've seen in your entire career sitting behind this desk making snide comments about people actually trying to make a difference. Charlize ignored Whoopi's pleas. She pointed directly at Joy. You want to question my authenticity? Then let's talk about yours. What have you done lately besides tearing down people actually working to solve problems? When was the last time you used your platform to highlight a cause that matters instead of stirring up controversy for ratings? Joy's face flushed red, a mix of embarrassment and anger. That's not fair, Charlize. My job is to ask tough questions, she protested. Your job, Charlize fired back. Your job is supposed to be informing and entertaining your audience, not ambushing guests with personal attacks based on nothing but your own cynicism and jealousy. What is it about me that bothers you so much? Is it that I've managed a successful career without becoming bitter and mean? Is it that I can actually sleep at night knowing I'm helping people instead of hurting them? The other hosts sat frozen. This had become a complete demolition of Joy Behar on her own show. Joy, realizing she was losing, made one last desperate attempt. You know what, Charlize? I think this conversation proves my point perfectly. The mask is finally off and everyone can see the real you. Charlize laughed, but it wasn't pleasant. The real me, Joy. This is exactly who I am. I don't tolerate bullies, especially bullies who attack people for doing good in the world. If standing up to you makes me look bad, then I'm perfectly fine with that. Joy stammered. Charlie, I think you're overreacting. Overreacting? Charlize's voice sharpened. You accused me of emotional colonialism for helping children in the country where I was born. You suggested my entire foundation is a publicity stunt. You mocked the idea that I could genuinely care about people less fortunate than myself. All without a single fact. You had a platform to actually learn something today. You could have asked about programs, challenges, successes. Instead, You performed at the expense of work that matters. For what? So you could go viral? She placed the microphone on the table with deliberate precision. Well, congratulations, Joy. You got your moment. I hope it was worth it. Charlize nodded respectfully to Sarah and Sunny, offered Whoopi an apologetic smile, and to Joy, nothing but contempt. Thank you for having me. I hope someday you find something in your life that brings you joy besides making others miserable. With that, Charlize Theron walked off the View set with her head held high, leaving stunned hosts and a very rattled Joy Behar, suddenly realizing she may have just made the biggest mistake of her television career. So, there you have it. The moment Charlize shut down Joy Behar with nothing but class, facts, and righteous anger. What do you think? Was Charlize right to walk off, or should she have stayed and tried to reason it out? Let me know in the comments below.